join me on a Sunday morning driving the XJ40 for its MOT in 2020. It has actually been extended by 6 months, but because I don't drive the car during the winter and I don't really want to bring it out in January for MOT purposes, I'm driving it to my preferred MOT station today. And thankfully, because it is still MOT'd, I was able to tax it, so it's taxed and insured and quite happily driving to be dropped off, ready for its MOT tomorrow. In the past year, it has probably driven, I want to say 30 or 40 miles, and that's since its last MOT last year in July, so hasn't really done very much at all. So I've changed the oil and I've changed the coolant, so everything seems to be okay from that perspective. Differential oil was changed last year, actually, as I remember doing it last year, along with lubricating the UVs. There's some grease points or grease nipples on the universal joints for the rear drive. I've forgotten what they're called. Rear drive shafts, and it's the only couple or pair of grease nipples on the car, but it is quite an old-fashioned system, which really sort of does belie the car's 1970s origins. So we're coming to a national limit now, and we're just going to gently surge forward, and 60, and torque converter lock-up, which occurs at around 55 miles an hour. And there we go. A little bit of wind noise because the seals on the doors are not the best, but it's still not bad. I had the suspension overhauled completely a couple of years ago, and it drives wonderfully. It's tight, it's taut, the ride is what you would expect from a Jaguar. It is sublime. So, I can actually feel some warm air coming into the cabin, which is the wonderful non-air conditioned climate control, because I had a sunroof instead. When these cars were built, the air conditioning modules, or the air conditioning kits, came from a company called Air, and Air didn't have the capacity to make enough kits for the car, or for the XJ40. So a lot of bog standard XJ6s like this came with an optional sunroof. So instead of air conditioning, somebody ticked the box for a sunroof. Not a lot, but some XJ6s went back to the dealers, and the dealers were able to retrofit the complete air conditioning system. So you actually could specify after the car had been built if you wanted to have air conditioning. It was a dealer fit extra, which is quite unusual, which sort of really just goes to show how these cars were designed. They were sort of quite modular, and there were sort of some design elements that were a bit of an afterthought. I mean, one big afterthought is this dash. It looks fantastic, but it's not without its faults, and it was trying to cash in on the tech craze of the 1980s. It's known as the Tokyo by Night dash, or the Joe 90 dash, depends on what you want to call it. But yeah, it is quite an interesting little car. Driving, well, little, it's bloody massive. Driving nicely. Anyway, well, thanks to the person that's been holding this camera. That's I need to get it out of my face now so I can actually see what's going on. But thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next time. And I hope this rain doesn't last, because I want to drive there without rain. Thanks for watching. So we just arrived at the MOT, and because that is a vacuum fluorescent display, you can sort of see it refreshing. Oh, cough, not corona. General cough, productive. If I hit fuel, actually let's hit clear first, get rid of that There we are. So average fuel consumption for this journey was 23.8 miles to the gallon. That's actually not too bad. Mixture of A roads, mixture of town driving. That is about what you would have expected when the car was new, so that's not bad at all. It's idling a little bit unevenly, but that's due to the throttle position sensor. If I do that, absolutely fine, very smooth. But it's just idle, but it does idle a little bit unevenly, so I think it's a combination of the throttle position sensor and possibly a dirty throttle body, which I need to clean out at some point. I clean it sort of periodically every sort of couple of years. And there we go, everything is looking okay. So let's drop the keys in and go home.